listener, and welcome to Tim Portlers, the show where we jump around a whole bunch of different games and systems, hopefully do so in a somewhat coherent manner. I'm Seth, I am a writer and game master, and with me I have...
I am David, and I am a moderate introvert pretending to be a mild extrovert.
And I'm Rachel, I'm more of an extrovert, but also finding recently I'm also more of an introvert. Strange.
And I'm Kyle, the only real extrovert in the room.
It's okay, you're all nerds.
Woo!
Yeah.
Fucking nerdy.
I always think of the Land of the Bogs thing about introverts and extroverts being
yes.
friends. The
Drive you to the land of friendship.
the extrovert kidnaps the introvert and drives them to the land of friendship.
And yet,
I'm not.
I'm the one who brought Kyle here.
That's actually a fair point.
It was the other way around.
I have kidnapped an extrovert and brought him into our clan.
You have successfully played the part of the extrovert.
I have.
Like
That's
you
called
said.
practice, dear listener.
And you too can be an extrovert or introvert if you so choose.
Yep.
So when last we left our varying degrees of introverted heroes, they had set out to hopefully reacquire a lost friend, Isoda-shan, a young boy whom they had encountered in this world of Rokugan, having set out from their home of Yatamu Lodge in hopes of finding out more about whatever crazy things are happening.
So
Which
many crazy things.
Did appear to be caught up in where it appeared Isoda-shan was taken in this great fortress in the midst of the forest, a forest fortress, and Big Beastie had his tunnel into the fortress. Long story short, he managed to wedge like a tree trunk and shimmy things around so you could get in through the back way, through the Beastie tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it worked. And,
Scary as all get out, though.
Yeah.
You actually discovered what had become of your combat instructor from Yatamu Lodge. Mudarkatal had been captured by an enigmatic figure leading the Okita League by the name of Veral, who apparently answered to the Waken, whoever that is. Veral is the person in charge who had been going around and actually showing his face and causing trouble directly.
Now we've chopped him up a bit.
You have chopped him up a bit, as you had, with a few speed bumps along the way, made your way up into the fortress proper, and headed up to the highest room of the tallest tower. And
No redheads waiting for us, though.
No princesses.
Hey, his hair's gray now. You don't know what it was before.
Okay.
But you had seemingly encountered Veral in his study up at the top of the tower. He was doing some strange business with some weird kind of machinery, it looked like, scattered about this vast, not vast, but a large chamber atop the tower. And you don't know whether that's connected at all to the strange haze that's settled over things, but even of the people who are native to this world who have been seeming more gaunt in proximity to whatever this strange cloud of nastiness is. They had been seemingly oblivious to it, but coming up the steps to this tower, Jikedan, your other companion who you have traveled with here in Rokugan, had seems to at least register that something was wrong. His courage seems to fail him for a moment, but he still pressed onward with the rest of you. And as you entered the chamber, Sakine promptly introduced Veral to her sword. And
But so in my notes, is it technically 3 rounds until he's dead?
yeah,
Oh, okay, so that's why I wrote he's hanging on by 3 threads. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
very poetic. Take a void point.
Okay.
I haven't been handing those out very much, so
Woo!
Nicely
you
done.
get a void point. But as you have charged in, brought your samurai sword down into his clavicle, he is hemorrhaging profusely, broken bones. He is not going to survive this lethal blow, and seemingly
He started laughing at
yes,
me.
not incredibly perturbed by that. He just began cackling and reached into this weird portal of some sort and withdrew a strange kind of oblong firearm, it appeared to be, that kind of encased up to his forearm,
The shotgun.
and looked about to all of you and shouted, "Let's see how good of an end I can make it." And it is now going to be his turn as he brings his gun about to face the person who has just killed him.
Boom, boom.
It's really terrible. Every time I pass this page from Teoni, I wrote it in all caps, so I can't help but read it every time.
Oh, you guys!
You guys, she's in my head. Get her out! Get her out!
For listener, Teoni is her Star Wars character in a different
Sorry.
game.
Oh,
Crossing the screen.
He brings his gun around to bear on you, Sahin. Seems rather pleased with himself in what is about to happen.
So, I'm not in a suspicious stance.
And
Fire when ready.
the muzzle of his weapon issues a rather loud, blasty retort. And you are gonna take 9 damage.
Do I block any? How do I block?
What's your armor?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You do have armor.
Okay, armor
Not
to
bad.
reduce it, and then it goes into your fatigue. And once you run out of fatigue, then you can choose to either immediately drop unconscious, or you take the crit, depending upon
Obviously, dice.
Oh, I already have, or would it have been? We haven't stopped the scene, so I wouldn't have reduced at all since.
Correct.
So I'm still
We
at.
left off in the middle, well, not in the middle, but at the very beginning of this
Mm-hmm.
encounter.
So I would be. Do I go over my threshold? Because I'm gonna be at 16 of 12
Ooh.
with that.
Yeah, and you are.
So what happened? He was saying something about.
Right. There's a thing that you can do.
Because I'd prefer not to go unconscious, but if that's gonna happen, that's gonna happen. So.
Although, in all fairness, you are the one that's killing them in 3 rounds.
Yeah, I understand.
So worth it! Maybe.
And at least distracted him enough to attack me first, so you guys could get fair shots. I guess.
Right. Okay. So the trade-off is that you can defend, which takes fatigue, and if you reduce the damage taken to 0, then you don't take a critical hit. Or you can choose not to defend, and then you will take a critical hit, but you will remain standing and conscious, assuming you survive the crit.
Ooh. So what's the first option? Was you roll to defend?
You don't roll to defend. You just take a number of fatigue equal to the damage. But if that exceeds your threshold, you become incapacitated.
Okay.
Basically pass out. Or fall to the ground winded.
Or I
unable
take
to
a
act.
critical.
Or you can take a crit.
What would that mean in this system? I understand Star Wars better than this
Basically,
one,
what you
but-
just did to him was a critical, where
Uh-huh.
you got agonizing death, because it was a 12, I believe. Basically, the blow is mortal, and the character knows it. But yeah, there are varying degrees of it. There was a close call, a flesh wound, a debilitating gash.
If I took a critical, what would that look
It
like?
would be pretty bad. I'm gonna give that to you because you're taking a shotgun point blank.
Okay, I will, I guess, just become incapacitated, because
All right.
I don't want to,
Lasting damage.
All right.
I think, from my standpoint, as Sahin, I have dealt a solid blow. I feel like I don't...
Work here's done.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dust's off hand.
Right.
And pass
Well,
it.
okay, so like a shotgun blast basically just rendering you incapacitated. We'll call that. Just like as he's bringing the muzzle around, you just you have a vague idea of what he's bringing to bear on you, and you manage to kind of wedge your sword up near the muzzle of that. And just as the blast erupts outward, you're just your sword is flung back, connects with your head. You're dazed, and just the force of the shotgun blast just hurls you back off your feet, and you are thrown down to the floor. And
I thought I was supposed to be unconscious, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
incapacitated, which doesn't necessarily mean unconscious.
Yeah,
It means, but you can't act. It's the same thing, except you're technically still aware.
basically, this
Okay.
is the point in the war movie where you're just lying on the ground there for a minute,
And
just
it's like everything's ringing
Yeah.
and things are happening around you and you have no idea what's going on. Okay.
Because if you take a blast from a shotgun at point blank, you're gonna get seriously messed
Oh,
up. So
yeah.
It is an unpleasant experience.
But the fatigue I take, do I hit my threshold and that's all the fatigue
It goes
I take?
over your threshold.
Okay.
Which
So-
means that if someone tries to heal you, they have to heal that much more before you become unincapacitated.
Right.
Got it.
So even
Capacitated?
Takeda's snap out of its shoulder thing might not be enough to get you back where you need
Because,
to be.
I am at 16 of 12.
Yeah, we'll see.
Take a nap. But not a dirt nap.
Are you sure?
And
Pretty sure
as
you got it.
Sakine is just thrown back off of her feet and just slams back down into the floor of this room, Minta says his reaction, and you, just from beside you in the little cricket pouch, the cage at your side is a bit.
Yeah.
Shut it, Jeremy.
And it is up to you guys as Viral turns to you, just brings his gun about, and you see it actually like slowly still extending and like
That's pretty cool.
just like go like full mech kind of thing, just kind of coming up to conceal over
Iron
his
Manning
arm.
his hand.
Pretty much.
That's going to be a... I think I'm next, right?
Yes, but you're seeing it at this point. It's even coming up to kind of just like clamp down on his shoulder. It's not going to hold him together. He's still dying, but
Well,
Yeah.
I still don't like it. I think that's a problem. I'm going to switch to fire stance, close the distance, and cut his arm off.
Although it's just the first round of combat,
yes.
so you can't change your stance quite yet.
Oh, it would have been your stance for what you rolled.
Then
Initiative.
According to my character sheet, I'm still in water stance then. Which is the
Would it?
same number of dice. But in that case, I'm going to take a calming breath before I do this.
Do it. You take a very calming breath and you see Sakine just thrown off of her feet, scattered aside.
Just like, okay, focus.
Ooh.
I actually don't remember what stance I was in, but I'm pretty sure.
Really? Really? Really?
Is that good or bad?
I got nothing.
Well,
Oh,
you
no.
charge forward and just bring your sword down to try to connect at his
Can I
shoulder.
spend a
just
void point to help him?
at this point.
Damn it.
To just try to cleave him, like the arm completely off of where Sahine's already begun the cut. But you, just your aim is slightly off, and he ducks slightly to the side, and it just clangs against the metal that has come up over to encase his arm. And he looks to you, just this toothy smile over his face, and looks up to around the machinery about the room.
Your pathetic Rube Goldberg device will benefit you nothing, fool.
How many words was that?
Just barely enough. Wink, wink.
All right. And what do you do when you insult somebody as such? Is it a
There's just a special rule that you can always add the word fool.
okay?
And it's just a free action.
Pretty much.
Okay,
If it's like a dismissive insult, you can always just drop a couple words to insult them. So I'm insulting him and telling him that his silly plan is pointless and worthless, and he can just go boil his
He
head.
just brings around the barrel of his weapon once more. He will accomplish more than you know.
I look doubtful.
In the background, I'm just doing the hype man thing, like, oh!
Jakaven at this point is going to charge forward and kind of come up on the other side with a sweep around with his excuse me, rusty blade.
Nice.
You.
Oh, sorry. Look at rules.
And
That book.
wow. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Is this
10.
Jacadon?
That's 11 successes.
That's
with
where
him-
all my success
with
went.
him in fire stance.
You're welcome, Jacadon.
You distracted him. You got him distracted on the other side, and you called him a fool, and maybe it distracted him a little bit as Jacadon just comes around and unfortunately, Varel is going to use his
Legendary action. No, kidding. Wrong.
his what is it called? Endurance to just still bring around his weapon and just use it as kind of a blocking blade against Jacadon's sword. And it takes a lot of his endurance to block that, though. He actually staggers back a step. It's the anime thing where it's like the blow is blocked, but they're like skid back.
Yeah.
And there's dust flung up from where the feet are scuffing along the floor.
There's a groove in the dirt and everything.
Yes. And you're all at this point feeling in the chamber, just the feeling warm. It's kind of this rising thrum of energy. And we're to Memphis.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Seeing my wonderful colleague get shot, well, figuratively speaking, or like block the shot, but took the impact of a shed shotgun blast, and not knowing what the heck's going on, and my anxiety of the phobia of the unknown, I'm gonna go unmask.
Do you
And-
actually unmask, or do you just metaphorically?
Just metaphorical.
I mean, you could unmask
I could
and
unmask.
scare him.
Right, yeah. But anyway, I'm freaking out because I have no idea what. I know it's a shotgun, but I have no idea how he made it appear and all that good stuff. So I'm freaking out. But more importantly, Saheen needs to go to school. So I'm going to go heal her.
All right.
And do Path to Inner Peace.
I'm probably gonna be like muttering at you with, no, attack him, kill him.
Live!
He attack.
But mostly, I defend and help you assist. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do Path to Inner Peace, which means I need to make a support action on target number 2 Theology Water check.
Yes, sir.
I will do such a thing.
Will you?
1, 2, 3. I will not do. I shall do it. Oh wait, I have it the other way around. Black are the ring dice.
Yes.
I was doing like, all right, 3 white.
Yes,
dice.
listener. The black dice are the ring dice. The white are the skill dice.
Yeah,
Depending on the number of ranks you have in that skill.
that was a very pitiful roll. But oh well, one exploder.
roll.
Bam!
Pitiful roll.
You're still not helping. So sadly, that is. So I gain 1 strike back. Then I have 2 success, so I make it, and then that's also 2 opportunity, which means Saheen, I mend your exhausted muscles, so you remove fatigue equal to my water ring, so 3 fatigue, and sadly I got no more bonus successes. And then
So only 3 fatigue?
only 3, sadly.
So I'm only 1 above.
Alright.
So that's not terrible.
And then let's see, you're not bleeding, dazed, disoriented, or lightly wounded, correct?
Nope.
I'm dazed and disoriented, aren't I?
No, incapacitated.
You're incapacitated
Oh,
as
so
far as actual
Fine.
effects that are on you at the moment.
So I don't know, GM or whatever you're called in this system, whatever you want to use the opportunity for, because I can't use the opportunity to go do anything with this. So
Jeremy seems like his spirits are lifted by seeing you help
yay,
your friends.
Jeremy. I knew I could count on you.
Stupid cricket.
With your opportunity, I'll say like you're definitely sensing as you push further into this room. There's
There's something
that
going on.
haze is feeling thicker, and
Okay.
as the rising the thrumming of energy is building to some kind of peak that definitely is contributing.
Alright. Could I make a perception around the room to see, since there is no perception?
What are you looking for?
What might, you said there was like computers, machines of some sort, and the room's starting to pulse?
It's more as far as technological level. There's a lot of there's not really like computer interfaces. There's a lot of like levers and dials.
Okay.
And, yes.
Cool.
I'm machine Frankenstein.
You know, that kind of.
I maybe, well, I guess this would be a different, well, actually,
Think if Mary Shelley was actually Japanese.
gotcha. Could I, what was I going to say? I'm trying to sound required check technically the first action. Well, since I am water. Go ahead and take a calming breath and remove that one strike that I just took. Okay, I guess that's the end of my turn though, because I did an action. So
Okay.
cool.
And we are back
I'm
to
freaking out over in the corner.
top of the round. Saheen is still incapacitated as Veral is going to try to address the individual who just nearly cleaved him into.
Cleaved.
Or talking about me?
Takeda, who was coming around and was basically going to bisect the man.
Kadon almost killed him again.
We have a pretty good track record for this.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's a lot of opportunity, but complete whiff.
Ooh.
Kind of what I had as well.
As Varel brings the barrel of his weapon around to Jikaden, Jikaden actually, you see the fear come once again into his face, and he just kind of falls back a few paces, still keeping his guard up, but is looking incredibly terrified at this whole situation. This is entirely out of his element. This is well beyond anything natural of his world. And he is apparently frozen and unsure of what to do next, as you're also noting that just he is almost looking he's looking so gaunt at this point. You would not be at all shocked if he just full on Raiders of the Lost Ark just melted or like blew away to ash.
Out of curiosity, ever since it started to pulse and get more frantic in the room, does it look like it's happening quicker to him?
It's intensified, definitely.
Okay. That's good to know.
Alright. And I guess we're to Hideyoshi.
Alright.
Round 2.
Okay. Well, I'm a little bit
Stance.
displeased at the moment. I'm kind of angry, so I am switching to Fire Stance.
As,
And I'm going to slash him.
listener, he dabbed. Anyway.
Wait, is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Yep.
I had no idea.
Harold brings the barrel of his weapon around and just blasts towards Jikaden. Jikaden has fallen back and manages to duck out of the way as you are charging in for your blow.
Kill him!
That's
Kill him!
maybe a little bit better. Yeah, I am sucking it up right now.
All of the nastiness in the room?
Oh, alright. Okay, so actually I can keep those. That gives me a total of 3 success, 1 opportunity, 1 strife.
Alright.
So,
You'll be doing some damage.
yes, my damage is 4.
Alright.
So I did an extra damage.
Plus the 2 additional successes? or-
It's target number 2, so 1 additional success.
Okay.
And with the
Right, we got 2.
opportunity...
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I don't think I can do it.
He does manage to bring around his weapon and glance that aside as well. And as he's looking around, he almost seems mostly like you're a minor distraction in all of this, and he's just looking around and like this satisfied smile on his face as around the room at this point panels, what you thought were sections of stone wall begin to and just mechanically shift, and you're able to look out and see something like murder holes all erupting around like the perimeter of this room and looking out over the forest beyond the fortress, and just this a look of elation on Veral's face. The continuing cackles as yes.
I was in Fire Stance, so that should have been an extra 1 damage. Sorry.
All right.
1 double.
He still deflects it, but yeah, he is barely on his feet at this point, just from the blood loss and just the frenzy of attacks you have unleashed.
And he's also taking additional damage because of bleeding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I've been
No, he's definitely bleeding.
Okay. That's good.
Jikaden at this point is firstly just going to see if he's able to keep his courage and
Snap out of it, Buzz!
stick with it. And he does. He takes some strife doing so, but manages to take a breath and seeing Saheen still on the floor with Memphis over her, he he's not wanting to engage with Feral again so soon, so he shifts over to where Sahina's on the floor, and just, not even... Not even so much as an if you please, just reaches down and grabs Sahin by the arm and just hauls you up to your feet, just like shoves your sword into your hand, and just looks about the room. I do not know what is happening here, but something tells me that you all are not as surprised at all of this as I am. So,
good thing I'm wearing a mask. You can't see my face.
Please, either tell me what to do or do something. And Sahin, you are going to recover 5 endurance until the end of the encounter.
Okay,
Yeah, temporary.
so help me remember that after the encounter, I'm going to go back up to 13.
Yes, okay.
So,
Yes, exactly, yes.
thank you. I had just gotten there.
Reverse math.
Yes, I am so good at reverse math, guys.
Alright,
Does that mean I get to act
you're
at all?
going to be at the top of the round
Okay.
now, because you are no longer
Veral's
incapacitated.
next before me.
No, Sahin. Oh, yes, you're right.
Well,
dice.
wait a second.
No, I'm talking about the
Move
dice.
it.
Yes!
Oh.
Sahin's back on her feet.
Yay!
Jeremy goes,
Put a little finger down there and a little high five. Alright, let's go. Since, once again, can't really make a perception check in this game, but can
what are you
I
looking for?
maybe figure out either what's going on with this machine that he's got contraption rigged up, this Mr. Bad Boss Man, or figure out like how to work it, or like, you know, something along those lines of like try to figure out how to turn it off or stop it.
Alright. I don't believe there's anything to do with mechanical knowledge in 5 rings. Take a look here.
There's a design, maybe something.
Alright. This is not really of this world. So I'm going to
Well, I'm
say
gonna make my
on
temporal
your
work.
Genesis sheet.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an average computers check with 2 setbacks.
Oh boy. I'm pretty sure computers don't have anything in it. Nope. Alright, with my 2 intelligence.
You got this.
I got this. I got this.
Dang it, now I have that stuck in my head.
2 setbacks, you said, right?
Yes.
Could I, in theory...
Yeah.
Sorry, Rachel. Could I, in theory, use my void point in 5 rings in order to upgrade one of the rings, one of my things for temporary?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Huh. Interesting.
What dice was that face? Everything else was blank.
Wow.
Impressive.
That is impressive.
Wow. Okay, I got 1 success, 1 opportunity.
Right.
Advantage.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, advantage. I'm crossing the street.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
You're crossing the streams in several different directions at this
Yes.
point.
As you're looking around, you do your full beautiful mind moment as the numbers and letters all come together, the shapes, the geometry.
Ned Harris is there.
And you're pretty sure he's a villain somewhere, but not apparently in your reality. And anyway. Yeah.
I feel like there was a joke somewhere.
I mean, it's just like, it just feels like there's a lot of the time, I mean, it's Ed Harris, right? Yeah. He feels like he's like the man who's behind everything.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, he wasn't a villain in Apollo 13.
True. But for the fun of it, we'll say for the sake of crossing the streams, what it manages to trigger your memory there is like, oh yeah, this Varel guy kind of looks like Ed Harris. And,
we're killing Ed Harris. Sorry.
He's
Dear
dying.
listener, fan art is accepted at temportalers@gmail.com.
All right. And yes, as you're looking around the various banks of machinery, you're grasping that these appear to be wired up and piped up through the ceiling until it apparently is connected to something up above the
tower.
roof of the roof of the tower.
Since we've seen the outside of this base
Yeah.
fort structure thing,
Yeah.
what was on the top of this tallest tower?
You didn't see anything there.
Ooh. Okay. Alright. But I just know that everything's leading up to something up top.
It appears to.
Okay. Since I am currently in water stance, I'm guessing that was my action. Right?
Yeah, getting that.
Could I... You say that the place is starting to open up. Could I start crawling my way up towards the top of the tower?
Sure.
Alright.
As you move over to one of the strange windows that have just opened up, you make your way over, and you are gonna... How's your fitness?
My fitness? What is my fitness? I have no ranks in it.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you mean. What approach am I doing?
I'll call it shift.
Shift?
This is fitness shift.
What?
As you're trying to shift yourself up to a higher level.
Ooh.
Well, that stinks. But okay. One strike, two opportunity.
Okay. You leap out the window. And then, as you're gonna reach around and be like, oh, I'll fire a grappling hook. Wait a minute, I don't have one of those. Ah! And you just managed to reach out, flailing, and grab onto the lip of the window you just jumped out of. And you do not fall.
Okay.
You did not get anywhere.
So I'm currently hanging outside of the window.
Yes. And we are going to go back to top of the round, which is to Sahin.
Me! Okay. So I'm still in fire stance.
Well, you can change it now if you want.
I don't want
Alright.
to change it.
Water stance, if you take the calming breath, will reduce your fatigue as well as your strife.
Honestly, I just want to hack
Just
and
want
slash.
to kill something.
So,
Fire it away!
Fix things. Cook out doors.
no, just hack and slash.
Okay. You know how it is. You get those manly urges.
So she attacked, but mostly she attacked.
Okay, so this would be melee attack, fire.
That's a weird gasp.
Yes, it was!
Wasn't it? We are really crossing streams.
We're gonna break the Game Master.
I suppose I should take it as a comfort that you don't think that's already happened.
Woo!
Okay, so that is a total of 5 success,
Nice.
2
Yeah.
opportunity, and 2 strafe.
All right.
Which puts me at exactly my threshold.
All right. And the
Yeah.
damage of your weapon, I believe, is 5 or 4.
Four.
The katana is 4.
All right.
Plus,
With
Okay,
plus
zero.
3 bonus
Fire.
successes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, it's he's not able to block it this time. So once again, you get the crit.
Which, I'm assuming you're using it two-handed, so deadliness starts at 7.
Uh-huh.
And then he has to defend against it with
Yes.
a fitness target number 1. And then number of successes reduces the deadliness.
What can I do with the opportunity? Anything?
With a katana, I
Wait,
think
in
you
the-
can increase its deadliness, but you'll have to check the rulebook.
Yeah.
well, I can check
Go
it.
to equipment katana, and I think you can spend opportunity to increase deadliness.
Do you know what page?
I don't remember the page. It's in the equipment somewhere.
Which I think equipment is... Oh,
Aha! Look at that. It's in chapter 5 called the equipment.
what?
There's a katana entry in there somewhere.
Katana. Doesn't say anything there, so we can go to.
It might be razor edged.
Katana.
Well, that doesn't say anything.
Well, let's see. So it's under...
Right here.
Yeah. Range damage is 4. Deadly has...
And so deadliness
200
plus
damage
2.
plus 2.
Razor edge, what does that mean?
It might be Razor Edge that allows you to spend opportunity to increase the deadliness.
I believe so, yes.
So Razor Edge quality in there
And
somewhere.
here we go. Razor Edge. Some weapons are particularly sharp, and this. When you succeed on an attack check
crap.
that deals damage to the target using a Razor Edge item, if the damage dealt is reduced to 0 before they defend, this item becomes damaged. When you make an attack action check with a Razor Edge weapon, you may spend opportunity as follows. For each opportunity, treat the deadliness of this weapon as one higher per opportunity spent this way. So you had 2.
2 opportunities,
So
so...
plus
Your deadliness
2,
is
so
9
deadliness,
plus 3, so you have a deadliness of 12.
Wait, so it was a base deadliness
That's
of
of 7.
5, but plus 2 for two-handed.
Mhm.
and
So
then
7.
plus 2 more.
Plus 3 more for your bonus successes. Plus 2 more for your opportunity.
Oh,
Wow.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Here's the spec battle.
Alright, well, that'll be agonizing death again. So, I guess he dies faster? Maybe.
Faster, harder, quicker, deadlier. One more time.
Well, he
My goodness.
does manage to reduce it this time.
Pathfinder D&D, I guess I'll be a bard.
He's only maimed!
Can I take off the arm with the thing on it?
I have one job on this ship.
Technically no, not with the
Okay,
main
that's fine.
role. You're going to be giving him a scar disadvantage, basically.
Which isn't gonna matter in a round.
Oh no, you could do fire, which is lost arm.
Okay.
Well, you are in fire.
You're on fire, so yeah, that
Mhm.
would be either lost arm or lost hand.
Yeah, lost arm.
Okay, the whole arm on which the weapon is just
Yeah.
kind of clunked over. You managed to right kind of under to meet the blow you had going over.
Hmm.
Just sweep up and meet
Finish the job.
meet the other half of the cut, and it's just as his arm just is flung off and clunk clatters down to the floor with the. Let's see. The shotgun does not go off.
Yay!
That's not how guns work.
You don't know how this gun works.
Magic.
Any firearm worthy of the name is designed specifically not to go off when you drop it.
Magic.
Basically, his hand is in there on the trigger. Anyway.
It's like the Samus Metroid gun, where it's like his hands
Kinda, yeah.
in a weird way.
Mhm.
His hand is in there, then maybe I could buy that.
Okay. But like the nerve twitch.
I could buy a nerve twitch.
All right.
I wanted to cut that arm off.
He actually stumbles back from that blow and is just clutching the stump. Well, the lack of stump even, and is just staggered back and is snarling at all of you. But at this point, just drops down to one knee and just looks up overhead. It comes. And back to you. You got nothing.
Well, I'm done flailing uselessly at this moron. What is he looking at?
He's looking up towards the center of the ceiling.
Is it just the ceiling?
From what you're as you look at it now, you're seeing what Memphis had noticed before, where there appear to be various pipes and tubes going up and funneling up to where the center of the roof is.
And did he activate all of this with a lever?
He didn't appear to activate it at all when you guys entered. It appeared to already be in progress.
Do I see any levers or mechanisms or buttons or things that
There are many about the room. There are dials and levers and...
Is there an obvious central console?
There is not. Where
Was he standing at like a pedestal in the middle?
yeah, but what he was standing at doesn't appear to actually have been like a control console. From the knowledge you might have of such things, it looks like this might have been some sort of rudimentary readout sort of thing, where he could go to it and kind of assess how his contraption is operating.
Okay. I would like to then switch into water stance and I want to go and start flipping every lever, pushing every button, just doing all of the things, and hope that I mess something up. Shall I make a luck check for that?
Yeah.
Deep percentile? Or...
We'll call it a luck check combined with
design adapt.
Alright, so I'm going to roll a deep percentile and a design adapt.
Yep.
Right.
Just to see if you're able to gauge the proper things to be flipping, and then if any of it does anything useful.
I'm just imagining like the whole third short of, Mike's new card is like, just sit there, push the button!
Okay.
There's 50 million.
button.
So I got a 33 with 3 success.
Alright.
And 1 strife, which is my threshold. I'm just frantically...
As you're moving about the room, just like shunk, thunk, and turning all the dials and levers, there definitely seems to be some sort of reaction. The reaction, unfortunately, seems to be
outside the window, right?
That whatever is being channeled through these pipes and tubes starts to go faster.
Okay, great, cool beans, guys.
You don't know if that's in relation to what you just did, but it's happening.
I guess. So, I'm assuming I spent all of my water stance extra actiony things to keep flipping more stuff. So that was all of 1 turn. So that's all right. Next.
Jacaden sees what you're doing, and he's gonna try to do the same thing.
I'm going to feel really bad for you, David, if he succeeds and you just been like, no matter what you do, it's just no.
He is not good at design adapt.
Well, I wouldn't put him past him to get like 4 exploders.
Nope.
No luck.
And he rolled a 14 anyway. So,
ooh, okay.
Yep. He starts matching what you're doing about the chamber, kind of starting on the other side and working his way around to you. Is this supposed to be helping?
Technically, yes.
All right. He just continues. Memphis, what are you doing?
So what am I seeing now that I'm outside?
At this point, the sun is not yet up, but you're kind of seeing on the horizon kind of that sickly glow of like pre-sunrise. And are you actually screaming?
Probably because I am unmasked at the moment. So
okay.
Are you already unmasked? Like it? Or
yeah, but it's a process.
Oh, okay.
The process.
Look, you gotta follow the 3-step plan for unmasking.
Yes.
But as you kind of look down to where the tower falls away, down below, kind of scattered all around the fortress, there appear to be some kind of frenzied movement, and some people just appear to be stopping whatever labors they have kind of on the tiered defenses of this fortress area, and just staring up at the top of this tower appear to be entirely sure what's happening.
Fly, you fools. I'm going to go try my darndest and start scaling the tower.
All right. Go ahead and do another... I'm in water stance right now. Mm-hmm.
Could I perform a second action on my turn that does not require a check or share a type with my first action? Could I, in theory, since I have a tent, tie myself off and start climbing down? Use some of the rope.
I would actually require a roll for that.
Okay, so I can't then do roll for climb and a roll for tying off.
Because I would say you would probably have to see how successfully you're able to tie yourself off by frantically grabbing your tent.
Okay. How high up am I? This is, of course, the tallest tower.
The top of this tower is, you're looking at probably a 40, 50-foot drop.
Oh my.
And that's down to the rest of the fortress. If you happen to fall, beyond the fortress walls, it's further.
Well, considering that I probably can't see that it's speeding up, or not knowing that it's speeding up, I'm going to go ahead.
You're still hearing kind of the rising...
Right. I'm going to go try to tie myself off, and then I'll start scaling on the next...
All right.
So that'll probably be the wisest move to do right now. So what is that going to be?
I'd say... I guess like tying ropes well. I'd call that survival innovate.
Survival innovate. Pretty sure I got nothing in the survival. Innovate is fire, which is 2. Okay. Well, okay. 1 success, 1 strife.
Alright, you tie off a knot in this rope on the sill of this newly opened portal.
And then I'm going to use, since... Now, question. I was in water stance. I made a check in fire stance. Do I still get the benefits of the water stance to go take a calming breath or not? If you understand what I'm trying to say.
I'm actually not entirely sure because, yeah, it's technically still being in combat. I'll say sure, go ahead.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and remove the 1 strike that I got with it. So, that's my turn. Next turn I'll start doing the Spider-Man.
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 Zaheen, we're back to you as you're standing there over the sagged and fallen Viral as he's leaning back against whatever.
And this would be
Final round.
Yeah.
the final round?
He's done.
Okay.
He's leaning back against whatever machinery was at the center of the room that he was standing over initially, and just, just kind of sags down against it, as holding the profusely bleeding wound, and just looks up to you, just seemingly amused, and just waiting to see how you move forward.
I mean, he should be dead about now.
Yeah, you're not entirely sure how much he's able to see at this point. It's kind of thing where you wave a hand in front of his face, there might not be any sort of recognition there.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look around the room, and I see Hideyoshi frantically pushing and pulling levers and buttons.
As well as Jikaidan, who at this
Jikaidan.
point is physically sagging, and you're not entirely sure what's going on there.
But there's the central piece. Then they're not doing anything with the central. They're
There
doing
doesn't
stuff with
appear to
the.
be any sort of interface in the central area.
But you said he was
It was
leaned up
like
against.
a readout.
Yeah. Basically, appeared to be some sort of where he can read incoming data of some kind.
Is there any data on the screen?
It's not even technically a screen. It's like
Or
if
whatever
we're
is
dealing,
there.
if we're dealing like with Frankensteinish technology, this is kind of the in Captain America, the first one, where there's a whole lot of just dials and whatnot that they have to read.
Telescope.
Yeah,
I'm
kind of.
just imagining like the earthquake
that.
monitor little things are just kind of...
If I can't really read anything, and I mean, I have probably little patience for such things, I might just start taking my sword to the stuff in the center.
The center console?
Yeah.
All right,
What's the king gonna do? What's the king gonna do?
just go ahead and roll your attack.
I'm still in fire stance.
You don't need to be if you don't want to.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be in fire stance.
I think I will go water stance. I can take calming breath.
Yeah.
Okay, and it removes 1 and 1.
Yep.
Okay, so now I will be going to 12 at the end of the encounter.
You try to have a bit of calm as you see that Viral has fallen. He is weaponless, dead if not dying. Dying if not dead.
Dead if not dying.
He's
He's
only
also-
mostly dead.
Yeah. Strike that. Reverse it. But yeah, he's completely out of the fight, it seems. And you just take a moment and, unsure what else to do, just begin to take your sword and slash it, whatever readings might be before you. Isn't it just so aggravating when the villain doesn't have the decency to have a big off switch?
If I were a villain, I would have an off switch.
Mhm.
And it would accelerate the process.
That's most
One
people say
success,
that.
2 opportunity.
Okay, you begin to just swing, just
Kylo
slash
Ren.
away. It begins to, some of it just might spark and break up in response to your many blows. And yeah, Viral at this point just kind of slumps over, just motionless onto the floor, just blood pooling, and
What's his final expression?
It's kind of a contented.
Like, I did the thing. Typical villain.
Yes. Hideyoshi, at this point, you're just getting a sense that whatever this is building to, this is the culmination.
Do I get the sense that I should leave, or...
You honestly don't feel any sort of sense of dread or anything, but as you kind of glance over to Jikedan, he's looking as though just his whole world is about to crumble and he's not even sure how.
In a like psychological sense, or his physical body's about to disintegrate?
It's kind of a nameless horror, and he very well just might blow away in the breeze, you don't know.
Okay. I'm going to look at Jikedan, and I'm going to tell him to run. And then I'm going to spend a void point to try again to find an off switch.
Alright. Do so.
Okay. That is a 15.
Mm-hmm.
But I have... let's see here. I have 1, 2, 3 success, 2 opportunity. And that also is more than the threshold, so I probably shout at him to run away right now.
Yep. As you continue just trying to flip anything, turn anything you can find, yank out this knob, it's...
Smash something with the sword at some point.
Yeah, it's... There's a moment where it kind of becomes to... cuts off. And just kind of begins this higher drone down to just this incredible bass. As Jikedan is looking around, seems to assess. There's no stopping this at this point. Just looks to you. I'll find the boy, and just bolts from the room.
Good.
As much as he can. He's actually stumbling over his own feet as he's doing it, and kind of having to scramble to stay upright, and almost falling down the stairs as he's trying to just flee for his life. And Memphis, what do you do?
I'm in water stance. I look down at Jeremy. This is my extra action that does not require a check, or is not the same as my first action. I'm just going to look at Jeremy and just lock eyes with Jeremy with his multifaceted eyes. Just say, Jeremy, I need your cricket powers, and I start to climb.
All right.
Lucky cricket, let's do this.
I
don't know if he's a magical cricket. I don't know if he's a magical lucky cricket, but I believe in Jeremy and he believes in me.
We'll see how lucky he is.
What do I roll?
Fitness shift.
Fitness shift. Alright.
Well, you're not me, so you should get at least 1 success.
Hopefully. Where are you? Shift. Shift is water. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. 3 opportunity. That's all what I got.
Oh.
Each dice have 1 opportunity on them.
Jeremy takes one little tiny arm and just gives you a salute. And you're trying to pull yourself up, and you manage to just heave.
It's like that whole thing where it looks like I'm going so far, then zoomed out, I'm not even going anywhere.
Yeah, as like you basically just climbed up right over the top of the opening that you originally left, and you're just dangling there like, and there's the bass drops, you guys. I don't know how else to put it. As the rising drone suddenly plummets, and whatever sort of contraption is here at the center of this tower, just it's not even a shockwave to all of you, but it actually becomes tangible as it feels like just this wash of sickly, brackish energy just sweeps over each of you as whatever the machine was hoping to accomplish occurs. and
I don't get
just
pushed out the window, do I?
sweeps out. It doesn't actually hit you with any sort of physical force.
Oh, okay, good.
But no, you just there. You feel as though something has irreparably just been ripped apart in this reality. And as you look down to any of the people far below, you actually see some of them even just collapse wherever they're standing. Some are still trying to flee whatever this is, but as it just like this sickly cloud just sweeps over everything like this really gross mist.
Okay.
It just seems to descend across everything as far as you can see, just spreads out from this epicenter.
Oh no.
And people begin to actually cry out in terror and flee for their lives.
Okay.
As back inside, Sahin, at the center of this chamber, you actually watch as whatever the source of this appears to be this actual physical tear in the air before you just seems to open up. And it's just this inky,
Does it look
nebulous blackness inside.
like how we've traveled before?
It looks like if somebody with the imagination of Tim Burton tried to recreate what he had seen in terms of people trying to
Oh,
travel the way you have.
no.
So, orc tech compared to Eldar.
Sure. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Oh boy. Does Hitsujinu react to this in any way?
Well, I think he's already going down the stairs.
No,
Hitsujinu
Hitsujinu is
is-
my sword.
Oh, sorry.
Jacada.
That's right. I'm good with names.
You actually are feeling as whatever this is trying to descend and also just coat the sword as it is kind of just covered everything like this sickly film. The sword in your hand is still almost seems to like the intensity of the frost that is spilling off of the blade seems to intensify as it is trying to repel whatever this is.
Okay.
And you're still like it's not obscuring your vision, but it's just this haze that's kind of
Like a
descended
weird
over
mist.
everything. Yeah.
It's Sahin's turn still?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to derail.
No, it's fine. I didn't realize it had come back around to me.
Well, we're not technically an initiative anymore.
Oh, okay.
Combat has ended.
Which means I
go and catch her before she
Does
falls
that mean
over.
I go? No, I'm actually going to go to my threshold.
Ah, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah. So you see her stagger and kind of plant her sword on the ground and manage to stay upright. But yes, she is definitely looking haggard.
So,
Does it? Okay. Does it sound like the machine is still thrumming, humming,
The machine is apparently deactivated at this
and
point.
so it's done? So it's not keeping this happening. It
Nope.
created this and left this, and there's nothing to
No,
make
there's
it
just
stop.
this shifty, murky doorway left in the air there.
And we can't see anything on the other side of the doorway?
Nope.
No matter which side we stand on?
As you walk around, try to look across the perimeter, it appears, it's almost like that optical illusion where the eyes follow you and the painting just always kind of oriented towards you.
No. What if one of us stands in front of it and the other stands 90 degrees away from that? Does it
Yes.
orient towards who, like each person?
It is oriented always at once, it seems.
Okay. So it looks like a doorway, but it's somehow very like cylindrical.
Yeah, it's almost like that optical illusion of like, is this thing concave or convex? You're not entirely sure.
Okay.
Memphis is still hanging out.
Right.
Memphis!
Get back
I'm
in here.
alright.
Do you
I'm gonna go
need?
down for Jeremy and see how he's doing.
I'm gonna go see if I can find him and bring him back inside.
Yeah, he's just dangling out at the top of one of these openings that's kind of...
I'm gonna reach out and yoink, pull him back in.
I will help you pull him back in.
just
Even
your-
though it would be really funny to forget about the knot that I tied myself, I want to go untie that so I don't start walking away.
You're dragged back inside and awkwardly stand on the windowsill for a moment and
Right.
untie yourself.
I'm going to then take some of the debris from the presumably not terribly good condition consoles or whatnot and toss it in the hole.
Okay.
See what happens.
Shoot. Vanishes.
I'm going to take the shotgun, carefully extract the limb from within it, and put one end of the shotgun into the hole.
Okay.
Pull it back out.
As you pull it back out, it looks as though the other whatever portion of it you actually seems to push through and actually pierce whatever doorway
Pierce
this
the veil.
is. It's like covered in this kind of slightly viscous liquid.
Can I identify the liquid in any way? Bring it to my other character sheet just in case.
Sure. We'll call that.
Since I also went to school, I'm going to assist.
Sure, we'll call that knowledge. We'll call that knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay. And you're helping me with that?
Yes.
What do you got for ranks?
I got no ranks in it.
Okay, I also have no ranks. What's your intellect?
My intellect is 2.
My intellect is also 2.
Woo! We're like school buddies.
Is this an average check?
Yep.
Okay. Then I get a boost because my friend is helping me.
Yeah! That's the power of friendship!
That is 2 threat.
Okay.
Oh
I am not rolling well, guys. It's a bad weekend for David.
It seems like portal goo. Like how it happens.
no! Now
There's
you're
always
thinking with
Yeah.
portals.
Okay.
Well, we should maybe check on Jacadon and see how he's doing. Or what happened to Jacadon, actually? He was in the room, and then I kind of got out, and then he
I
was
told
not
him
in
to
the room.
run. I hope he made it.
And he said he was gonna go look for the boy.
Let's go see if we can find him and maybe get Dark Portal out while people aren't paying attention. Alright. I guess we leave and go down the staircase, hoping we don't stumble across a body.
Okay. You head down the stairs and down some more stairs, as there's quite a few stairs leading up to this tower. And you do not see hide nor hair of anyone.
And it's
Oh.
also eerily quiet, I think,
Yep.
with my perception check.
This, very unsettling silence has descended on everything. As
Now-
far as you can tell.
We don't see, like, any just mounds of clothing or even or stuff like that. We just don't see anything.
That's it.
So
Okay.
let's head for where Mudarkatal is imprisoned.
Okay. You make your way back down through another stairwell.
And then we go and find where like the above part would be, hopefully, to get him out.
Okay, so you're
Like
So
actually going to
We
get
want
him
to get
out.
him out not through the front gate because that's all barred and whatnot, but
Got
like the place that they drop him food and stuff.
in the interest of time, you are not, no one challenges you, you are not stopped. You are able to find, which is actually, it was in that room that you had entered before.
Ah, what?
Yep.
What?
It was in there?
Where was
Just
it?
had it with some furniture around.
Ah.
It was in the
Search
room.
check!
But no, as you find the top of whatever hole was to the,
Do we know how far down he is, or?
you vaguely know how many stairs he had to climb to get up there.
I mean, we've got rope at this point, and so we just
I'll
pull
yell
up the
down.
spikes or whatever it is necessary, and then just like drop him rope and fall.
Yeah,
down.
there's actually like a kind of bus driver kind of crank where you have to deactivate the various spikes that are intended to keep somebody from climbing up out of their prison cell, and you throw down the rope.
I also yell down there to let them know that, we're at the top.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me.
You holler down. No response.
Maybe should we go down and check to make sure he's actually down there?
I'm gonna go down a rope and see if he's down there.
Okay.
I mean, you can just go down the stairs. Oh, okay.
That's
But
faster.
no, it's a pit.
Oh, sure.
It's faster to go this way because we have to go out of the room and around and back down to the
Right.
stairs.
This way, you just kind of
Okay.
climb down the shaft.
Me and Heights haven't had the best of times yet, so.
Yeah. So Do you have any light source, Hideo?
I take a torch from the room that we were in.
All right. Manage to strike it up without too much difficulty. Keep it from igniting the rope, and slip down the rope down into where you had last seen Medakrital.
Do I see anybody in the
You
room?
arrive there, bring the torch about. Empty.
Nothing. Is the big cage door still intact?
It is intact, but it is propped open.
So someone knows how to open this thing. Out in the other room, I shout this information back up to these two.
Okay.
Do you see the big bad mutated core beast thingy?
Kyoko.
The
Core beast thingy?
do I?
Not until it's too late. No.
Roll
you,
initiative.
you do not see any sign of it at this moment.
I shout back up. I don't see it right now, and I'm going to go and look at the slave pens to see if they are still occupied.
Bring your torch around and try to get some light inside. Somebody inside?
Those propped open as well?
Yep.
Okay. Tracks. Tracks in the dust on the floor, maybe leading out. Big tracks or little tracks.
Why don't you go ahead and make a survival?
Survival exchange, I suppose.
Survival
While he's doing that, I'm gonna commune
Yeah.
with Aircom
All right.
and see
That's more like
if one, they're still there, and number two, if they have some light on like where, if there's anybody nearby or what's going on. Not that they would, because it's probably weird for them, but try to gather intelligence.
All right.
3 success, 3 opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, there appear to be many different converging tracks that lead actually back out to where you entered through the beast tunnel.
I guess I'm going to head off in that direction while I shout to the two of them to bring some extra torches that they can find them in.
So yeah, go grab torches and head down there. Probably an easier way than the
rope.
The rope. Or is the
Like I
rope
said,
pretty
we could have
easy?
took the stairs.
You can take the stairs back then if you want.
Probably fine to take the stairs because
Yeah.
it's not.
So, yeah, and then actually going to the stairway, grabbing all the torches I can carry.
Is the
Along the way?
guard that we dealt with still there?
Is he?
Because we dumped him back in the stairwell.
Right. No, he would not be there.
Okay.
Okay. But I grab all the torches I can carry as on our way to the stairwell and down the stairwell.
All right.
But I got 2 success, 1 opportunity, 2 strife.
All right. Memphis, as you follow behind Saheen as you pick up another torch as well, presumably.
Yeah.
You take a moment and try to reach out to whatever air kami are about. And the sense you're getting is, even from just the spirits of the air at this point, they're bafflement and fear.
Out of curiosity, with my perception check,
Yeah.
knowing that I came into this world with good old my lucky cricket Jeremy, so he's not actually part of this world in a weird way, do I see any insects or any wildlife nearby? Because I'm imagining he apparated with me, so he might not be exactly from this world, so maybe this
Sure.
isn't affecting him, per se? So is it just affecting humans, or, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Native humans?
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of wildlife to observe within the fortress. However, as you make your way down below, there are still skittering insects
Alright, so-
in the dungeon.
There's insects and stuff like that. Okay. Alright. Recording it for science.
Yeah.
I'll go in and follow behind Saheen, and since... By the way, I don't know if this is coming into play at all, but I do have a phobia, anxiety of the unknown.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe after I perform a check related to my anxiety with the whole... I I don't know when exactly you want them to come up, but I do receive 3 strife whenever I do a check that relates to it, so I'll leave that to your discretion. But I also get void points, limited to 1 per scene.
Well, I'm not gonna enforce a check here
No
because
worries.
this isn't Call of Cthulhu.
Right, no worries. But I'm just letting you know that if I do make a check and you feel like it does relate to that, feel free to apply those.
Okay.
I am probably, though, freaking out and kind of, since I'm 4 feet tall, kind of like a little kid, I'm just holding on to something of Safine's, like, probably clothing, just kind of like, being right behind her, like,
Mm-hmm.
little kid scared behind mommy.
Hideyoshi, as you would reach the beast tunnel opening first, as you reach where you had entered this tunnel, it is once again propped open.
Okay.
It appear to be the furthered efforts of whatever you had been doing, just your small group, and trying to pry it open and just shove things in to keep it
Open.
yeah, braced.
They have more people than we do.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably.
And when do we meet up with him?
I would have waited at the underground cavern side of the tunnel. And while I'm waiting for them, I'm going to look down into the pit, see if there's anything interesting down there.
Okay.
I think we did already, didn't we?
Yeah, but
I-
it's been some time.
I did not specify looking down the pit, but I am now.
I mean, you look down as much light as you can get from up top here with your torchlight. It looks as though, this is probably where the beast slept.
Okay. But nothing seems to have changed about the pit. Like no additional
you can
large
see.
piles of bodies or...
Not that you can see.
Also, go ahead.
When they show up, I want to take one of our torches and light it and drop it down there, just to see if anything's different.
Okay. You have the lit torch and drop the glow of it, lights up the ring of the pit as it falls. As it collides with the ground below, it seems to bounce and skitter off of some rocks. There's some bones you see below.
Nothing stands out to me as interesting
Nothing
or
appears
usual.
to be moving. There's nothing mechanical. What are you looking for?
Yeah, anything that appears out of the ordinary for a bone pit, or anything that looks like a new kill, or weird energies, stuff like that. Don't see anything abnormal. From what I would
Not
have
for a
expected.
bone pit. This here's a bone pit.
All right. In that case, I guess we head down the tunnel.
All right.
Out of curiosity, since we came down the stairs and all that,
Yeah.
does it look like this smoke mist weirdness? Is it like seeping down into the tunnel itself, or does it actually reach a point where it stops and then we go below
It's
it?
not even seeping at this point. It's almost like you've even kind of acclimated to it at this point, where it's just kind of this thin film over everything.
Okay, so it's actually still below the tunnel too,
Yes.
or in the tunnel.
Yep.
Right. Okay. And as we know, tunnels have air, so we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
And an opening at either end.
Right.
So you press on. You exit out the
Yep.
entrance that has gone out from underneath the fortress, come up into the surrounding wooded area.
Is this entrance also propped open?
Yes.
Tracks.
The tracks still seem to continue as Hideyoshi's checked before, and appear to converge with many other tracks, and all seemed to meet up and just
Head off in the same direction.
throng kind of, off in the
Okay.
same direction.
Out of curiosity, I don't know how well is our visibility with this all weird, filmy, misty stuff. But looking back now at the fort and looking at the tallest tower, what does it look like now? If I can see it. Because I don't know how thick it gets or how crazy it gets.
It doesn't really compromise even your distance viewing.
It's more like we have a weird filter, like a sepia filter.
Kind of, yeah. And as you look up to where the top of the tower of the fortress is, you think there's some kind of like bulbous form at the top of the tower. It's not especially large. It appears to like just the top of it, where it might be mistaken for some kind of
thing.
bulb thing, like the top of a minaret kind of thing.
Does it look like it's pulsing or anything, or is it just like...
Just sitting there.
Like, it's a creature?
Nope.
If I move, does it look like it's always facing me?
From this distance,
Okay. Our horses still around.
where had you left the horse? Did you just let them?
I thought we left them a short distance away from here because we still, or did we have the horses when we encountered the band?
Don't.
We had the horses up. The last time I remember the horses was we had them up when we were sneaking up to the fort.
Right.
And
Right.
I was with them or something nearby when I was on the
When
other side
we
of
were
the hill.
spying on other things.
And then,
Yeah.
I believe you had left them.
Yeah.
then in that case, I think should we just follow the tracks wherever they're leading?
Well, how far away are the horses then, per se? If they're in the same exact place where we left them.
That would be depending on how careful you want to be. It would be anywhere from a half hour to a couple hours.
Yeah, let's not bother with that. Let's just,
I give a quick prayer that Mo is doing okay and then move it on.
yeah, I think we should try and hustle a little bit. Like at the very least a brisk walk. Probably not a full run though.
I shall do my Marvin the Martian walk. Just
Trying to follow the tracks
Yeah.
and hopefully gain ground on whoever it is that's out there.
Okay.
Do we see any bits of cast off stuff, or is it just footprints?
Any sort of place where you see things that might have just been tossed aside are, back at the. Yeah, you probably would be able to see snippets of where people were working on the perimeter, working outward from the fortress, and it doesn't. Yeah, like it's not like piles of clothes or anything left behind. It's they appeared to have simply left with whatever it was they had on them and they were holding.
out of curiosity. Since obviously it looks like it, since I'm following Hideyoshi, I'm imagining that I can see the tracks because he's probably motioning for them or following them. All that. Does it look like with the tracks, with my wonderful perception check, that since obviously there was a lot of people, running away from said fortress, because there's a lot of people in said fortress, does it look like, considering that obviously some are going to have a head start, some are going to be probably caught up in this smoke thing, does it look like it starts to whittle down after a while? Like there's lesser and lesser amount of tracks? Like, hey, people are just starting to disappear. You know what I'm trying to say? Where it's like, okay, a bigger number started off, and then the further you get away, the people that were furthest away are the only ones still running away. So, like, whittles down?
If anything,
Or-
given like the width of whatever column this was of people in movement, if anything, it looks like the size of the group was getting larger as it's almost like they were waiting for everyone else to catch up.
Weird. Okay. Alright, cool. I was just curious if it had that weird sense to it. Anyway, I guess we continue following along said tracks unless somebody else has a better idea.
I don't have any better idea. I think it's the best we know how to do, and we need to find Neferkatal.
Yep.
All right. As you push on after these tracks, there comes a point where just shortly after sunrise at this point where you're pushing out through the trees and the trees are beginning to break from where this forest is and you're kind of coming out into like the broader open plains down off into the crane lands beyond the forest here, and you actually look up ahead and just see this kind of seething dark mass against the landscape. It's just pushing forward ahead of you and just trampled from you until that point is just grasses and everything.
Is that
trampled.
mass a group of people
Looks to be
and animals?
not sure about animals, but
Well, our horses, where were they?
you
They
haven't
were off.
you haven't gone to get your horse.
Oh, okay. I thought we looked for the horses.
As you're looking ahead, it just looks like this mass of people just trailblaze through the countryside here.
Okay.
Are any of them riding horses?
They don't appear to be, as far as you can tell from this distance. Nobody seems higher than anyone else.
Do we see the critter?
You do not.
Okay. Have I at any point seen tracks from the critter?
Yes, but they would not have been fresh at this point.
Okay.
So
But
like
they
the
appear
old-
to have, have gone to and fro about this area.
So, do we want to chase down this group of people? Try and get ahead of them and get someone to stop the group of people? Or head back to the tower and see if we can undo this?
I mean, it might be. I don't know if it would be useful at all to have Darkatal.
I'm sure it would be useful. But at this point, we don't know if he's even alive anymore. If he's with the group of people, has he been like is he,
Forcibly removed?
yeah, like maybe he went with them so that they didn't eat him, or maybe he went with them because he's now one of them.
Well, in all honesty, though, we were close to whatever happened, so if something happened to him, it probably happened to us as well, considering that we are fine.
Well, but here's the thing: he's been here longer than we have.
Well,
But he
In
always
his-
looked fine,
he's-
though. Sorry.
true, he has been in
In
the
the-
influence
yeah.
for longer.
So
So it's possible that it's possible we barely made it through.
Out of curiosity, when we saw him, he looked fine, but he noticed the difference with
Yes. Anybody else but the Dark Atala who you had encountered seemed to be having some sort of
weirdness.
adverse effects
Gotcha.
from that, whatever it was.
Well, I don't think that I'm going to magically discover how to close that portal, and I don't know how to operate the machinery,
I don't
and
think any of us do.
all three of the people that we actually care about are probably in that group of people if they're still alive. So
Also a question. Now, since we're outside the woods, where I'm guessing it was already kind of murky feeling, because that's what we had.
And still just a point, still at this point, if you have your sword out, it's just continuing to try to cut through all of
I
this.
think I probably would have left it out. I mean, maybe like put it in.
Like anytime you even shift your sword around, it's like it's trying to carve through this.
Okay, I would probably be keeping it out because I'm uncomfortable with that, and I'm not sure what would happen if I put it back in scabbard for any extended period of time.
Would it be able to do anything about it at the source?
I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to stick my sword in a portal of goo.
Well, not stick it in, but like slash it through to like make it go away. I don't know.
Go in. But-
What was your question?
now since we're outside the woods,
Yes.
does it still look like this weird misty filter, whatever you want to call it, thing?
Uh,
Continues or
having gotten this far away from the epicenter, it's beginning to dissipate, but it is still.
it still looks
Yeah.
like
If we
something-
stand here for 5 minutes, does it get thicker?
No.
What about 10 minutes?
Nope.
Okay.
That's about as long as I'm willing
Hours
to stand around and wait.
So onward.
Yeah, I
Hear
guess.
me out. What about 15 minutes?
Nope, we're going. Yeah.
15 and 30 seconds.
I guess we let's chase after him.
All right.
Should we go grab the horses and make it faster if we actually have the horses?
Have we moved far enough away from the horses that it would take more than an hour-ish to go and get them?
Yeah, it would take a fair amount of backtracking at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I vote we keep going, because wherever these guys end up, I suspect there may be spare horses around when they're done. Which is kind of a morbid thing to think, but
Also, which direction are they heading to? Are they heading the way that we came from originally?
They're heading directly back where you came from.
Okay.
yeah, we shouldn't spend any more time. We should hustle and
Mm-hmm.
at least catch up with them. And when we catch up with them, along the way, we should discuss, do we want to try and get the attention of some of these individuals, or do we want to just go around them and go in front of them and tell somebody there's an army headed for you, brace yourself?
All right.
Well, there's
As none of you have really slept,
Yeah.
and you're going to just try to hoof it on here for whoever knows how long, go ahead and make fitness withstand rolls.
best rolls of the game. Here they come. Withstand. Earth.
Fitness withstand.
Roll any successful opportunity. I got it down. 2 opportunity, 1 strife.
Okay.
One opportunity, one strife.
All right. Sahin.
2 success, 2 strife, and I am over my threshold.
Okay, not only are you able to keep up a pretty good pace, but you're kind of losing it with Memphis and Hideyoshi at this point. They're dragging their feet. My feet hurt. And
I was
Stop
hanging out of
whining.
a window. I can't climb.
You are not gonna like me when I'm angry. Just get a move on, okay?
I already don't like
You know,
it.
maybe we should go and get the horses. I don't think I can keep walking for much longer.
oh yeah, already you're looking up ahead and you're losing ground.
Out of curiosity, it took several days to get here from where we came
Yeah.
from, right? So,
So maybe the horses would be a good idea. We'll catch up.
But how do we know that? Are they even gonna stop for the night? Yeah.
But a horse is still at least twice as fast as them. So maybe they don't stop for the night, but we can probably catch up with them.
the
in a couple
tortoise will
days.
win against the hare. I see now.
Who's the tortoise? Anyway.
We're the tortoise.
Okay.
At least I feel like
But I'm a
tortoise.
fox. I vote
I'm
we
a
go.
peacock. You gotta let me fly.
So,
I vote we
as-
go for horses. I changed my mind.
Yeah, as you would push forward and nope, just turn
And then we
around.
stop. Sahin has hands on hips like, are you kidding me right now?
I'm 4 feet
I
tall.
said, did you want to get the horses? And you said no.
You were right. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Can we
Thank
get the
you.
horses now?
Yes.
Good.
I didn't say anything, so I'm always right.
Out of game? That is the
Where
way to
you-
handle the situation like that. When
Mhm.
somebody is like, "Hey, I told you," you just say, "You were right. I was wrong." Can we move on now, please?
Better to change your mind and be right than maintain that you were right and still be wrong.
I like random curiosity, since Memphis is kind of going back to his Memphis 18 Spice character mindset with being Mr. Scientist. If I were to pull out, say, a ration of mine, like an apple or something, does it still look fine? Or does it weirdly look like it's rotting or anything like that?
The apple looks like a slightly bruised apple that you've been carrying around.
Okay, so it looks like it's just bruised because I've been.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Right, so as you spend the next couple of hours heading back for where you think you have left the horses,
Oh no, I didn't like the way you said that.
you do find where they have been tied up and appear to they seem a little jumpy, a little fidgety, but beyond that, unscathed.
Scritchy, scritchy,
I go
scritchy,
pick
scritchy,
out
scritchy.
the moldy, or the bruised apple. Sorry, it's not moldy. You just said it a few seconds ago. And offer it to Mo. And check his leg, make sure he's doing all right.
You see the look in his eyes of, "Come on, man, this is bruised," but he.
Ah.
Hey, man. Oh.
So,
Wilbur.
do we want to take a nap? Or do we want to set off?
Oh, I mean,
I mean,
me
we've
too.
been up all night.
We have been up all night.
Which, an additional note, like none of the wildlife around seems to be, physically,
They're just all jumpy.
and well, like the horses you've seen are jumpy. A lot of the whatever bugs or little critters you've seen are running around seem also kind of jumpy, and no sound of birds.
Okay. Although, remind me, did I ever find entering the forest? I remember asking about was like dead, completely silent, but there was birds.
There was some mild activity still. It was-
But I'm guessing with the whole dubstep bomb thing going off. Yeah, birds, and it's like the whole classic thing where it's like zooms out of it.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. So right now we just got the whole Fellowship of the Ring, all the bugs are just like coming out and just going around doing stuff.
Kind of.
Cool.
Not to that extent.
Right, but-
it's more of a just everything around you seems fidgety.
Alert.
Everything's got restless leg syndrome.
We're just going to sleep on our legs.
Yeah.
So, I'm voting we take about 3 hours or so of nap time. And then get a move on again.
Do we want to have a watch, or
It's probably a good idea. Split it 3 ways.
Okay.
Do we want to do... Yeah, let's do... Each person gets 2 hours of sleep and an hour of watch.
So it's college.
Sure.
I never pulled an all-nighter in college.
I did.
Except for LAN parties.
That
Because I am a nerd.
was younger.
Anyway, is that an acceptable plan to you guys?
Certainly.
Sure.
Okay, I will
Let's
take
do
first
that.
watch.
I'll take second.
All right. The various various watches are taken. You all, whatever rest you can manage in such a short
My
span of
watch
time.
has ended.
And
You haven't
What
seen that
benefits do
show.
we get from this short rest?
the half of strain, is it? Strain is gone?
Strife reduces back down to half,
Yes.
and fatigue is reduced to half as well.
No,
but
if you're below half.
if you're below half, it doesn't change.
Even for strain. Or, sorry.
For fatigue, you have to have like a full night's sleep, and then you lose twice your water ring of fatigue.
Yeah.
But for right now, we just go half.
Right, because
Okay.
you're basically taking a moment to
Okay.
rest for a bit, but you're not getting a full night's sleep.
Yeah, this is just enough of a sleep that we can continue to chase people
Mm-hmm.
until tomorrow night. Or tonight, I guess
Yeah,
it isn't.
'cause,
Like
yeah,
it's
by
passed
the-
on.
Yeah, but by the time you've gotten back out the horses and get through your rest, it's midday. Yeah.
Let's we have 7-ish hours to chase after these guys. Let's
All right.
go.
Mount up. You head out.
Shall we
You're
make
out.
some more fitness checks?
Now, who's on which horses? I am obviously on Mo. You're by yourself. Are you with me? Are you with...
We have 3 horses, don't we?
we have three, or-
Oh no, we only have 2. That's
We
right.
got two.
Two
yeah.
horses.
I'm
So-
assuming Sahina's with me again as usual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Well, what sort of a pace are you setting? That will determine whether you need to roll any sort of fitness.
Well, you probably have the highest survival, so I'll let you decide how fast you want to go.
Are you really going to push the horses here?
Not really push them, but we're gonna. It's not gonna be leisurely. I think we're gonna do the same thing I think we tried to do on the way over here, where we walk the horses for an hour and then canter-ish for an hour, and then walk for an hour and then canter. It's just kind of the change of pace. We get a lot of ground covered with a higher average speed, but not with enough periods in there where we can cool off.
It's like the end of every classic western. The cowboy walks / canters off into the sunset.
Yep.
And
Probably we would trade Sahina off between the 2 horses after every cycle to distribute the load.
Share the load. Well, I would say it wasn't that big of a deal, but it would still be just for pushing on through the day. Target number. You need at least 1 success here.
Now,
Fitness
question.
withstand.
Obviously, David is driving the one horse. Am I driving the other one then?
Sure.
So that's what?
Fitness withstand.
All right.
That is 3 success, 1 opportunity, 1 strife.
One opportunity. But when the opportunity comes knocking, I'm answering.
Yeah.
3 success, 1 strife.
All right. You eventually deem that Memphis needs to ride by himself. We'll say Mo is having a bit of trouble with the leg, and so even just carrying the light weight of the short little Memphis is a bit much, and Memphis himself is not doing so well, very nearly toppling over in the saddle, kind of tired, so...
Doing the whole thing in college where you're just like, I'm awake.
Yes. But you do manage to press on through the day, because technically Memphis didn't get any successes, but there were 6 successes otherwise. So, as push on through the day, come to the end of the day, looking on ahead across the landscape, and you have your path clearly laid out before you, as whatever vast group of people you are pursuing have just clearly trampled the landscape in front of you. And
So we still haven't answered the question, and I would be trying to talk about this during our calmer periods of the day. Do we want to approach them or circumvent them?
maybe circumvent them, but if we catch up with them when they're actually almost next to whatever their destination is, which is probably the fortress that we came from, then it's probably best just ride out to meet them.
Right.
I think that we should see if we can get anybody's attention as we go around, but if we can't gain any sort of intelligent reaction, maybe we circumnavigate.
At this point, you're not even seeing the people you are following ahead of you. They are beyond sight.
I'm hoping when we catch up with them,
we'll know what to do then.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So you bed down for the night?
Yep.
All right.
And I think we should make it a full night's sleep.
Okay. Out of curiosity, with our wonderful collective perceptions, we haven't. Obviously, we see the big trailblazing up, big set group, but we haven't seen any hints of mutated whatever creature thing walking around. Because most likely that hasn't been affected by because it's not from this world, and we're not from this world. So if we're not being affected by said thing, it's probably not being affected by said thing. Maybe, who knows?
Also, do we see any dead bodies? Has anybody just collapsed and not gotten back up again?
Not that you've seen.
And also, granted, this is no man's land, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. So when it's no man's land, that means there's no men.
Just women.
It's the women and the children,
too. Children.
But we haven't seen, like, any random people besides...
Nope.
Cool. And it's, obviously now, since we're getting further and further away from epicenter of said explosion...
Yeah, you're almost a full day's travel away from it at this point, but you're still feeling that kind of oppressiveness. As you look around, even in the gathering dusk, it seems mostly clear.
There's still hints.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so, we got what watch?
Yeah.
One.
Are you taking mid-watch again there, Saheen, or you want me to? Alright, I'll take the last watch.
Alright. Okay. Memphis.
Yes.
You have just taken over the watch as Saheen goes to try to get whatever sleep might be left to her. And
why is it always on my watch?
You stretch and look about the landscape. Like, okay, that could have gone better, but you know, you've still got your lucky cricket. And
right.
Everything's
probably
gonna be.
It's my imagination.
As you slowly turn over to look to your right and see.
I'm really like Shy Guy, where I got the mask on, so it's just like.
The direction you've been from which you've been traveling all day. There's just this growing bulbous mass growing closer and closer.
Horses getting restless.
You're beginning to kind of shift about and whinny a bit.
I'm gonna very quietly try to wake my compatriots.
It does not take much doing to wake them up, as the heavy is drawing steadily closer.
Is it heading directly for us or
directly?
Okay, I'm gonna jump on my horse and encourage the two of you to come with me and just pick one side or the other and just not full gallop because I don't want to like make a lot of noise, but like get out of the way.
All right.
So are we going away from each other?
No. I'll go the same direction, but like it's coming this way towards us. I want to be off.
Gotcha.
I don't want to do the stupid Hollywood thing and look, something's coming right at me. I'll run the opposite direction. Not actually getting out of its way.
That's come to be known as the Prometheus school of running away.
Yes, I'm not part of that school.
All right, so you all mount up and take off.
Yep.
You just leap onto the backs of your horses and begin to.
Hopefully, it's not Indiana Jones' Last Crusade level where it's just like.
You pick a direction and gallop, not gallop.
Galloping would make a lot of noise. I want to move. Get out of the way in a way that's... Yes,
out of
trot.
Curiosity, Saheen, which horse are you on?
Okay.
All right.
I won't do what I was
as you alter and veer off of this basically brush-cleared path that's been trampled down by the group you're following, veer off of that course and try to be completely dark, no torches, and... as silent as possible at a reasonable trot.
Make sure I have Jeremy with me. I don't leave Jeremy behind.
And
I'm pretty sure he would have been with me. Sorry.
He's hooked up on you.
Sweet.
As Sahin, you're on the back of Hideyoshi's horse. You just kind of look back over to where this approaching hunk of flesh is just bounding across and just eating up the distance between you. It alters course, shifting the course correct to match up with you still.
Is there a place for...
What's the weather like right now?
Run!
Because we have no torches or anything, so we're just...
Fairly clear.
Okay,
But
good.
at the same time, if we're taking this thing with us, it's going to be more of a danger to other people, but other people could help maybe with this problem, so...
But we haven't seen anybody.
Yeah. I'm voting we just... We can either run or we can hide. What do you think?
I don't know that... It doesn't seem like we should be able to hide it. It's still far away and it altered course for us.
We can... How far away is it?
At this point, it's about a quarter mile out still. But with every enormous leap, it's eating up the distance.
It can see us clearly and we can see it
Waka,
clearly.
waka, waka,
You don't know
waka,
if they can
waka.
see you, but it is shifting course to intercept.
Turn around and head back the other direction.
Alright.
Does it follow us?
Hideyoshi whips around his horse. What are you doing with this?
Considering that I'm not able to look behind me and have any idea what's going on, I'm going to follow for now since I can't look and drive horse at the same time, I imagine. So I'll follow.
I mean, you could. It's not smart.
Right, yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and follow right now, judging that they have two people on them, so they must be able to see something and know what's going on behind me. So
Okay.
trusting their judgment. So I'm
You
guessing
veer.
they're in front of me and I'm just following them.
Alright, you veer to follow. As you shift back to kind of cut back across the broad swath that has been carved into the landscape. It adjusts course once more and pours out more speed.
Okay. I'm going to dismount and encourage the two of you to do so as well.
Okay.
And slap the horse in the rear.
And it just takes off.
Be safe, Mo. And I'll...
You slap your poor wounded horse's
I make
flank.
sure the slap is at their flank, not the one that's damaged.
Alright, it's still... Mo still just kind of kicks back with his hind legs, just narrowly missing you, but just to a point where you know, I totally could have killed you there, man.
Right? I know you could.
Then I'm going to hunker down and prepare my sword.
Alright. As creature lunges forward, there's the Free Willy moments where it kind of leaps over and you just see it, just enormous mass, just soar past overhead, about 10 feet well over your reach, and just touches down on the other side of you. Just the ground trembling beneath your feet. You're almost thrown to your butts as it's just this shaking impact. And it just whips around and kind of sinks down onto its front legs. Drops its chin to the ground. Just looks at you guys.
It just looks at us.
Mhm. As you're not getting a full perspective of it, it's like the faintest...
Is it still dark?
The moonlight is hitting it at this point, and you're basically just getting the enormous eyes within its head as it stares you down.
I pull out a torch and light it.
You ignite your torch, hold it up. The enormous pupils shift in response to the change in light.
Does it move at all? Seem like it's preparing to attack us at all?
Its attention somewhat shifts directly to you, Sahin.
Okay. And I watch it closely. And I walk closer.
I'm going to stand close behind her, ready to pull her out of the way should it make any sudden movements.
And then I'm going to ease closer. If it doesn't make a reaction, I'm just going to kind of move closer and closer to get a better, closer look at it.
It's just, there's like the only change that you're getting as you draw closer is that its breath is just...
And it smells terrible, I'm sure.
It doesn't smell great, as it's just washing over you, but it doesn't appear like the stance isn't shifting at all or anything. Yeah.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, this mutated beast comes from the planet or system plane
Yes.
that Murdurkadal comes from. If
Yeah.
I remember correctly, these things are used as beasts of labor, or they're used as mounts in said world?
What are they?
Kyokor beasts?
The Kyokor beast, but this one's mutated, if I remember correctly.
Appears to be.
Alright, since I went to school and all that, would I know, and considering that one of our teachers, I guess for lack of a better term, comes from said plane, is there
By the way, I'm gonna get like this close to one of its eyeballs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not quite tall enough for that,
Oh.
but you're below one of its eyeballs, and it's...
Hideyoshi,
Raises
give me
shifting
give me a boost.
But have we learned like any phrases or anything that would be used to like basically, just seeing if I know of any way like our words or phrases are like judging that this thing hasn't obviously attacked us yet. Is there a way to communicate with said beastie?
You can attempt to get the point across. This thing is mutated to the point of it is like more like a beast on all fours. These things are usually bipedal.
Okay. So it's more like a hunchback type of thing going on. Okay. But do I know of anything?
No lodge.
Knowledge?
Is this in fact the same creature that we saw before?
If you had to guess, you think it is.
Okay.
But for the interest of giving you some kind of idea, typically, this is the typical Kyokor appearance, is that they are bipedal titans covered in armored plates, from behind which they can extrude hundreds of appendages, which they rarely use for fine manipulation of objects. Their arms end in jagged claws, which are too big for grabbing and are used exclusively as weapons. Kyokor's chin is elongated, its eye sockets are a cavernous gash with glowing eyes, and sharp crown-like growths rise from the top of its head. A single Kyokor is typically about 150 feet tall and weighs more than 20 tons.
150 feet tall?
Yeah.
But this one is on all fours.
It is hunched over on all fours, like the plates of it seem to have kind of melded into each other, and...
150 feet is 15 stories.
Yeah.
This guy's that big?
Mm-hmm.
But not. He's not standing straight. He's hunched,
Right.
so he's not quite that tall.
He's got like a pill bug kind of
But
around that.
Only 20 tons at 15 stories tall?
I don't know. That's what it says.
Okay.
It says weighs more than 20 tons. So
I
that
want
who
more.
knows.
Okay. Wow, that's a big beast.
Trying to do your toothless thing right now here. By the way,
You don't know.
yes, I know you.
You don't know.
You don't know me. I got one success, one threat, by the way.
Okay. There are ways to go about trying to domesticate these things, in a sense.
Right.
Where you try to use them in helping you
Do things.
accomplish your goals. We'll say, the alignment is chaotic evil.
Oh, cool.
Their alignment?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically what has to happen is if a guardian is going to utilize the abilities of one of these creatures, you basically have to bring it to heal, because it is not going to be a mutual respect kind of thing. It is... Yeah.
I own you kind of thing. Okay. Well, knowing that much, I'm going to let, since I don't want to spook it or anything, I'm going to let Saheen do her thing, because she's doing something, and I don't want to cause any distraction to said thing.
Not knowing that this is what he knows, I'm going to say, touch it to Saheen.
No, you touch it.
I reach out and touch it.
I was gonna say on 3. 1, 2.
You see Hideyoshi reaching out, you just go...
Me first!
Alright. So then...
You take so much damage. Piercing damage.
Aww.
I would like...
Yep.
Both of you to use your Genesis character sheets on this. go ahead and roll your riding. I will be rolling against.
Okay, this is going to go extremely well with 2 agility and no ranks.
It has 4.
Oh! 2 success, 1 advantage.
All right.
2 success, 4 advantage.
All right. Just as you both reach out to touch it, it actually lunges forward as though it's like taking this as the signal for whatever something to begin.
Playtime!
Not playtime.
Uh-oh.
As it lunges forward, both of you manage to grab a hold of its kind of like that sickly film you felt over everything at the fortress seems to be kind of coating its armored plates, and as you grab a hold as it lunges forward, it begins to actually thrash about and try to just hurl you off of itself. Yeah.
Is this film that it has on it like the weird pasty stuff that was on the gun when Hideyoshi put it through the portal?
No, this is like the same kind of
Alright, so it's the weird
brackish
whatever.
kind of, whatever haze.
Sorry to
it
interrupt you.
just kind of clung to its entire form at this point.
Okay. It's the mist, but more solid.
Maybe. But both of you are this is you know those mechanical bull rides? That's kind of what's happening here, only the bull is 150 feet tall, but kind of hunched over and is like on all fours and is just thrashing about at this point. And you see the plates shift as it tries to just kind of shoot out further like tendril-like appendages and plant itself in the ground as it just begins to just kind of almost spin around on its axis, on the y-axis, I guess, and just try to hurl you off of it.
Wanna hang on tight?
Mm-hmm.
You are going to attempt to, as both of you are going to.
Instill in Genesis?
Yep. Sorry, no. For this, it would be your 5 rings.
Okay.
Now, am I needing to back up when this is happening? Or because I didn't go closer to it at all, so am I out of its hit range when it's whoop?
Technically, yes, but maybe not for long.
Okay.
As you just see this,
Okay,
this
what are we rolling?
frenzy of motion. It's like this tornado just erupted in front of you.
I'm going to back up since I probably can't tell what's happening, or can I with my perception check?
Shut up. Fitness for Sahin and Hideyoshi. You can either try to do fitness withstand and just hang on for dear life, or try to fitness overwhelm this and just try to get on top of the situation here, so to speak.
I'm going to fitness overwhelm this guy.
Same here.
I'm going to try and mount onto it and just I don't know how to overwhelm a being that's larger than a house.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do my best.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Crap, I think it was a total of 2 success and 3 opportunity. I tried to minus 1 and then it minused them all.
Okay. And where did them exploded?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't have any exploders, so I'd at least had 2 success, 3 opportunity. I had no strifed on this roll.
Can I use either my quick reflexes or my indomitable will?
I would allow for either.
Okay, that is good because that allows me to re-roll the 2 blank dice.
I'm backing up just so I don't do this thing.
Alright.
That's better. I now have 4 success, 1 opportunity, and 3 strife.
There's a point, Sahin, where you just kind of latched on. You were just trying to climb up whatever you think.
In which I do have ambidextry, which allows me the ability to use both hands well, which might be more for fighting, but
I will say that that's part of what's allowing you to hang on at this point. There's a point where your grip begins to slacken, but you guys kind of do the
groove just
well, not quite that kind of thing, but where you just as you let go, you manage to time it properly so that Hideyoshi is able to kind of swing you around with momentum, and you manage to grab a hold higher up as and then Hideyoshi, you just go beast mode apparently, and just clamor as you're both managing to get up towards the base of what you think is this thing's neck, and it's trying to at this point shift and try to almost catch you between some of the plating to just.
Oh no, you didn't. Teamwork.
So at this point, it's going to try its best to remove these bothersome critters.
If you know any magics, now would be the time to use the benefits.
Well, considering that I don't know how fast this thing's moving around, am I even able to tell what's going on per se? Or
barely. You can see that your friends have clambered onto it, and it is just thrashing around.
Okay.
Yes.
So, it is thrashing about. It is attempting to shake both of you loose.
Mm-hmm.
You either take 5 fatigue to hold on, or you are thrown off.
I'm gonna take that fatigue.
I'm pretty sure I can take that fatigue.
This is just your limbs are starting to burn and scream with the exertion of staying on top of this thing, which you have kind of almost managed to get actually on top of it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Since this is starting to sound like combat, should we roll initiative? Should I take a stance that maybe lets me chill a little bit?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Let's do there. It is definitely going to use fire stance.
We're using water stance because I want to move with the flow of this critter.
So, what do we roll for initiative?
You pick a stance and then you roll.
Yes.
Tactics and then that?
Yeah, this will
but it's
probably be tactics.
Yes. I would allow survival actually as well if you wish to use survival instead.
Yeah, I want to do survival.
But this is an animal handling kind of a thing.
Okay, and
1 success, 1 opportunity.
You want me to roll as well?
Mm-hmm. If you're gonna do anything.
I'll roll just so I'm in there.
Alright.
Roll.
this also allows me to re-roll dice of my choice.
It's
I'm
tactics.
gonna re-roll these
Or survival,
two
if you wish.
here.
Or survival? I don't have tactics either, so.
Okay.
Sure, I'll take it, I guess. That's 1 opportunity, 1 strife.
Alright.
Those 3. Alright. Ooh, this is going very well for me right now.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
So much strife.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 success.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strife.
Alright.
And I was in water stance, so.
Mhm.
Whew.
You're up first.
I said, ooh. So I'm at calming breath.
Alright. Recovering strife and fatigue.
Only 1 strife because my fatigue is still at exactly half. So, I guess I'm going to climb and see if I can get on top of its noggin.
Alright. I would allow either a fitness overwhelm or a if you wish to use your Genesis writing skill.
The Genesis ride is going to be an average or a hard?
Hard at this point.
I am definitely going to go with that fitness check.
Yes, fitness overwhelm.
Oh. Here is where all of my good rolls have gone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Another 7 success and another butt ton of strife.
Uh-huh. Alright.
So you are definitely over your threshold, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. I think my strife, because I think I probably took 6 there, so that puts me at 14 out of 10 strife.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. You climb up directly, like, on the top of this thing, try, like, go full, like, bow-legged, trying to ride the top of this thing, and, yeah, you are aware, like, you are in the position of dominance here, but you need the display of dominance somehow to bring the creature to heel.
I was in water stance, but no, an attack takes a check, so I can't do an attack this round. So instead, I'm just going to grab onto it and just scream and shout and roar my superiority over this small skyscraper of a creature.
Alright.
Cried the ant.
Probably shouting something to the effect of, I am so done with not being able to do anything.
I am lying here, me roar.
I am sick and tired of losing! I will beat you, you stupid beast!
Alright. We'll call that Command Insight.
Oh, I
No, you can't make a check.
Yeah, I can't make a check.
Oh, correct, yes.
But I might be able to make a check next round.
Right. As Sahin, you see Hideyoshi just apparently
Ninja warrior.
Yeah, sank into his kitsune form and just scrambled. And what are you trying to do?
Where am I right now in this whole mess?
You kind of clambered up, kind of onto the side of this thing's neck, and it's still thrashing about, trying to throw both of you off.
Okay. I'm in water stance.
You can change that if you wish.
Well, it's the
this is the first round still, yeah.
Am I anywhere near what looks to be an ear?
If it has an ear. Google image
Roll for ear?
Yeah, roll for ear.
Roll when you're actually on the ear, but you can't find the ear because you're like looking all around for it, but you're right there.
We'll say survival exchange. It's like you're trying to get a sense of where things are, I guess. Memphis is just looking up from the ground. No.
2 success, 1 strife.
It's fun too because I'm probably like so tiny compared to this thing.
And Sahin, as you look over, you see, you think that kind of cavernous thing on the side of this thing's head. It looks something like an ear.
I am,
Quick, do what you did with the horse and whisper in its ear.
No. I wasn't gonna whisper, I was
home.
gonna yell, and it's
Okay.
like the loudest shout I can manage, just straight into what I hope is its ear.
Alright. You also, I guess you get to make the command insight check.
Well, because I already made the...
I wouldn't call that an action, per se, because I was trying to go for something vaguely like a perception check since there's no perception.
Okay. So, what check then?
Command insight.
Okay.
Dear listener, that is insight, INCITE, not
Correct.
to view into.
I mean, you could view into the ear if you want.
You're going to view into the ear and incite the incited ear hole.
You look through the ear and you see the other side.
It's just like Spaceballs.
Right.
3 success, 1 strife.
Hey, what do you yell in this thing's ear?
I wasn't planning anything, just some string of weird syllables of a battle cry yell.
Some high-pitched elven war cry.
Yeah.
Of your native language?
Probably, yeah.
Alright. As you scream into this thing's ear in, like, the highest pitch Elvish you've ever heard, just screaming directly into what you hope is its ear canal.
I will find your family, I will kill them! I don't know.
I killed my family, I'll throw you under a bridge.
Killed my entire family. But no, as you scream that into this thing's ear, Hideyoshi, you are nearly toppled off of your perch as it immediately freezes in place. It's kind of sinks down.
Good job!
I don't know what I just did, but it stopped moving.
I do something?
What?
I don't know if this will work, but with Reflection of Pan-Ku, I can, as a scheme action, make it a target number 2 theology water check targeting a creature, targeting an item at a range 0 to 1. And then if I succeed, I can scry and get to know things about it. But if I get an opportunity...
But it's an object.
If I get an opportunity, you may target a character instead of an object. If you succeed, you identify 1 evocation, or Kyo, Mayo, whatever all that stuff is, or supernatural ability, or item possessed by that person along with its name and general qualities.
Go for it.
Alright.
Let's do the last check of the night here.
Okay, cool. Find out it's named Bob. Alright.
Change approved.
Bob the Kyokor.
Can he fix it? Yes, he can.
I mean, they said their appendages
Can
are used
he
exclusively
kill
for deception.
it? No.
Aww. But it can grow other appendages out its other parts. It's just its main claws that are destructors. Didn't say like root things out its back.
They can extrude hundreds of appendages which they rarely use for fine manipulation. Okay, but their main arms apparently in the jagged claws.
Yes, those are for death.
Yes.
So luckily, I did get the 1 advantage in order to trigger it. I got 4 success, 1 advantage, 1 strife.
All right.
I want to know who its name. I want to know who it works for. All that. Yeah, good stuff.
Well, it doesn't appear to have a name.
Okay.
Its master is apparently deceased, and it demands a new one.
Yes!
Wait, what?
We killed its boss and now it wants to work for us.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. You're the one who killed the boss. I just kind of flailed a bit of metal at him.
Since I was able to see said fine old gent, you said he had tattoos and weird stuff? Since I went to school and all that, does the tattoos and weird stuff look like it came from a Starforge or whatever, Star Fox or whatever,
Starfinder?
Starfinder world?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I said the last check was the last check, so I'm going to stick with that.
That's fine. Tune in next week to find out.
But yes, as Sahid and Hideyoshi are on top of the beast, and as it...
I've just yelled in its ear and it stopped moving, and I'm like, guys, I don't know what it did.
It ceases in its thrashing about and seems to be awaiting orders.
Okay.
Sahid, I think you have a new horse.
You'll pick up there next time on Tim Portalers.
I knew it.
Thanks for checking out our show. If you want to learn more about us, follow us at Tim Portlers on Twitter, or you can email us directly at tim.portlers@gmail.com.